Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. I am Victor Koo. This week, I'm going to share with you how to make an authentic Nyonya vegetable curry. It's called sayur lemak. Sayur lemak is a Malay word. Sayur means vegetables. Lemak refers to the flavor of the dish. Rich, creamy by using coconut milk or coconut cream. Sayur lemak is a Nyonya food, a type of Malaysian cuisine created by the Peranakan. Peranakan is another Malay word. It refers to the early Chinese settlers who arrived in Malaysia as early as the 15th century. These early Chinese settlers married the local Malays and adopted the local Malay lifestyle, but keeping the Chinese tradition. You can consider a Nyonya food as a type of fusion food in today's modern world, a Nyonya food that is created in the home of a Nyonya kitchen. It is a Chinese style cooking, adopting the Malay and Indian spices, edible roots, vegetables, shrimp paste called belachan, and also learning the technique of how the Malay and Indian prepare their spice paste or the chili paste called sambal using mortar and pestle. What I'm going to show you in this video is how to make this authentic vegetable curry, making use of belachan. Now, if you are a vegetarian, you don't have to use belachan. You can leave it out. I will show you how to prepare the belachan. In today's modern kitchen, unfortunately, we won't be doing the traditional way, which was the traditional way was using a charcoal stove and a grill and slowly grill the belachan. I'm going to show you how to make your belachan and how to toast the belachan, and using the belachan to make the vegetable curry spice paste. So let's get started, starting with the ingredients for this sayur lemak. Let's take a look at the vegetables I'm going to use for this curry vegetable dish. I'm going to use a couple of carrots here, some green beans, sweet potatoes, eggplant, white cabbage, and for the texture, I'm going to add fried puff tofu. What I've done with the eggplant, I have cut it into a very small little cubes. Sweet potato, the same thing. As for the carrots and the green beans, I make it into a lengthwise. The dried tofu puff and the white cabbage also cut into small little pieces. Let me just go through the ingredients I'm going to use to make the spice paste. In Malay, we call it rempah. The most common ingredients that you can find at your supermarkets or Asian grocery stores will be red onions or French shallots. I'm using 3 French shallots over here. If you're going to use red onions, you can use 1 large red onions. There's lemongrass over here, some chilies, fresh red chilies as well as dried chilies, garlic cloves, and I have ginger over here. Optional ingredients, only if you can find it, will be blue ginger, or the spice name is called galangao. We have candle nuts over here. Candle nuts is used to thicken the gravy, so I have 3 candle nuts here. Other ingredients that I'm going to be using will be ground turmeric. If you can't find a fresh turmeric, you can always use the ground turmeric, a Malaysian shrimp paste called belachan. It comes from Penang, which is my hometown in Malaysia. Now it comes in a block like this. With the belachan, we want to slice it very, very thin. You really need to do this once, so I suggest if you're going to toast belachan, you might as well try and do the whole block You can then freeze it in the freezer in an airtight container, and it will last for several months, and you don't have to worry about doing this all over again. A word of caution over here: if you're not familiar with shrimp paste or belachan, it does smell, and some people find it very difficult to smell the belachan, especially when you toast it. You can really smell the fume of the belachan of the shrimp paste. So if you have a house, I advise you to do it, to toast it outside, but if you do it in the summertime, it's going to attract flies. It's winter here in Melbourne, and I live in an apartment. I have no other choice. If I want to have belachan, which is traditional and authentic to a type of Malaysia cuisine called Nyonya food, you've got to have belachan. It's almost an essential ingredient for all the dishes of a Nyonya food, and also for making sambal belachan, which is a chili paste of Malaysia. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to toast it on a frying pan. It has to be a dry pan without any oil. I'm going to have the exhaust fan on. I'm going to have all my doors and windows open so the air can flow right through. Otherwise, it's going to stink my apartment for a few days. Okay, that is a word of caution for you. But I guarantee when you use it in your cooking, you will love it. It doesn't taste like the smell from toasting the belachan. There are two ways of toasting the belachan. You can toast it on the dry pan, or you can do it in the oven. But if you do it in the oven, again, a word of caution, it's going to stink the oven, and you'll probably smell the oven for a few days. So I advise against toasting in the oven. I've tried toasting in the oven once before. It really stinks my oven. So that's the reason why I prefer to toast it on the dry pan. Oh, I can smell it. It smells beautiful. As the belachan is being toasted on the pan, and as it dries up, it breaks up very easily. If you use a frying pan just like me, you don't really need to use mortar and pestle to further ground the belachan. This looks pretty good, and it can be used in making the sambal and also making the curry paste. As for the spice ingredient, I have roughly chopped all the ingredients. Once again, I have my French shallots, I have my galangal, which is blue ginger, I have my ginger itself, lemongrass, fresh and dried chilies, garlic, and the candle nut. So what I need to do next is to put it into a blender to grind it into a paste. Okay, I'm gonna put the shallots in first, and put in the candle nuts, garlic, chilies. This is very small, so I'm gonna have to do it in 2 batches. Add a bit of cooking oil. Okay, I'm gonna add the rest of the spices. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of the toasted belachan, that's it. That should be finished. Now we are ready to cook, and the rest of the process is very simple and very easy. So to cook the rempah, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. The oil is warm enough. I'm going to put in the rempah paste right now and to start frying the rempah. So I'm frying the rempah or the spice paste until it's fragrant on a low to medium heat. We don't really want to burn the rempah. Just going to add a little bit of water. Okay, I'm going to add the sweet potato first. So add the eggplant and the carrots. The rest of this vegetable, I'm gonna wait until these firmer vegetables cook first. Just add a little bit of water in here into the carton because I don't want to waste the coconut milk. There's 400 ml of coconut milk. Okay, I can add the bean right now, and also the white cabbage. I'm gonna add the fried puff tofu as well, and then I'm gonna cover it up with a lid and let it simmer and cook in there for another 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna check right now. This is definitely ready. I can turn off the heat. Gonna have a quick taste to see how much salt and sugar I'm gonna add in. I need to add a little bit of salt and sugar. I'm gonna use palm sugar, a bit of salt, mix through. Gonna have one more taste. It's really good, it's perfect. Gonna plate it right now. I just remembered that I have some dried shallots in my fridge, so I have just garnished my curry vegetable sayur lemak with dried shallots. Well folks, that's the end of another week of my video and my recipe. This week, sayur lemak, an authentic Malaysian Nyonya curry vegetable. Subscribe and click on the bell for notification. Please share with your friends and families. Until then, I see you next week. Happy eating and happy cooking.